DBS fan, welcome back. DBS community, welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super video. And today I'm going to be going over the last Mecha Frieza list that I have for the Mecha Frieza deck profile series, as well as the leader that I played in the battles that you probably watched on the channel. If you didn't, go back and watch those. We played this variant of Mecha Frieza versus my Aegis build of Mecha Frieza. Very fun. We just spent an hour and a half tapping each other's cards. It was a really fun time. But this is the last installment of Mecha Frieza that I have until I start kind of coming down and finding one that I can play in the regionals that I'll be in, hopefully. This is a mono yellow build, so no multicolor. I think this may be I don't know. I like this build. It's very, very powerful. But it does have some weak points that I'll kind of talk about in the video a little bit. So make sure you guys like and subscribe, and let me know what you guys think of the list itself. So I'm not going to go over the leader because I've gone over it in 3 different videos. All you need to know is that you can play extra cards for free on this side, and you can play them for 1 on this side by taking a life. So we have three Nimbus in this build. I think I need to, if I'm going to play this variant, I think Nimbus just needs to be at a 4 of. I think you should just need to play Nimbus at 4. Just call it what it is. There's no other reason. Just play it at 4. It just shuts down turns, being able to play it out for free too, even if you're tapped out. So run 4 Nimbus. Don't be like me. Run 4 Nimbus. Two Triangle Blow. This is another card I could see myself running as a 3 of. Because we don't run Planet Vegeta in this build, so having access to another turn 1 play, being able to shut down somebody's card is really powerful. So this can basically stop any card coming in 3 or less as long as it doesn't have deflect. Blanks it, and then you can also choose another battle card or a unison and negated skills for the turn as well. 3 Universe Assemble. I need 4. You need to run 4. I only have 3. I was going to buy a 4th one, but since it's being reprinted in the evolutionary box in under a month now, I figured I would just wait. Because I'm going to buy the box anyways. There's a good chance I pull at least 1. So if not, then I could just buy 1 then. It's probably going to be cheaper then. But this card allows you to draw 2 cards. You could take a life. On this side, you could play it out for free by taking a life. On this side, you play it out for 1 energy and take a life. To draw 2, if your opponent's tapped out, you get to search your deck for a Universe 9, 2 or less. Which you run 6 targets in this variation of the deck. I'm going to move these down here. Okay. For Chapel. Chapel is your, if I do this. Aha, we'll do that. So for Chappie, this is your main play off of your Universe 9 Assemble. 15k body. When your opponent swings, you get to tap down an energy of your choice, which then sets up other plays for you in the game. And you can have multiple of these on the board. So if you have 3 of them on board, your opponent swings, you can tap 3 energy. 1 Basil. I think 2 is the required amount, just so you see it. You don't need 4. Don't run 4. Any builds that run 4, it's not, you're not getting the consistency out of it. I mean, it's not supposed to be, I guess, I don't know. It's weird. Like if you run 4 of it, the best way to play it is to play 1, draw a card, activate its ability. If your opponent has 5 more cards in rest mode, it becomes a 19k dual attack. You swing once, restand it, swing with something else, combo this off, and then play another one from your hand. That's the best way of doing it. If you're going to run 4, if you're only going to run 2 or 3, like I said, 2 is kind of, I think, my perfect amount. You can just play it off Universe 9 Assemble once you get to a point where you can push for damage. And then 1 of Rosal, Wings of Universe 9. This is a tech card that I think I'll end up putting in the side deck. When this card comes into play, you get to choose 2 of your opponent's battle cards, 3 or less, and put them in rest mode. This is really good against decks that run a lot of blockers, decks that just run a lot of combo pieces. If you're playing against something like Launch, where they have all these Nappas on board, they have the Trunks Revenge blocker. You can play this to tap down cards. You can play it off of your Universe 9 Assemble, tap 2 cards, and then you can play Bergamo or something off of that. 1 Kefla's Fury. This is my substitute for not having a 4th Universe 9 Assemble. It's a counterplay that draws you 2 cards. It's a 2-drop, so it's kind of the same idea as Universe 9 Assemble. The nice thing is when you do this, technically you can tap down cards with Deflect, which is very interesting. So your opponent plays a card with Deflect, let's say. Then you use this ability. draw 2 cards, and then your leader ability will activate when you activate a mono yellow extra card on this side. Once per turn, you can tap down one of your opponent's battle cards. So let's say they play something to end the game. You can click this, counterplay it, and then your leader ability will kick in and will go off. That's pretty powerful. So what's interesting is that I believe this works against Fu Shrouded as well, the giant 10-drop Fu. So this goes in counter window 1. Doesn't affect the card, so you get the draw effect. And then your leader ability, because Fu doesn't negate leader abilities, you can tap the Fu card. So interesting little tech card. For Unisons, I run 4 Meta Coolers and 2 Vegetas. Meta Cooler, since we run a lot of extra cards, we can suck up the extra cards to draw cards. Also, when we activate an extra card, he gains a marker. He's a little harder to kill than Vegeta. He also has the Rejuvenate skill for 5. I think I'm going to end up taking this out and putting it in the side deck, possibly, or just taking it out completely for now. Vegeta is just way too good. Being able to stop your opponent from attacking with cards greater than the current energy. This is your only real window of beating Dark Broly. You play this on turn 2, and then you just -1, and then if they don't tech cards to kill this, they're never going to kill it. It kind of forces your opponent to swing with their leader into this, and then that's when you can Chapel, tap stuff down, you can Flying Nimbus, you can do other things to stop them from killing this, and then you can play this out for 3 energy, which is kind of the best energy format to play this out. You play it out for 3, use its main ability to tap something down, like a battle card. This card then gains a marker. Then you can -3, tap an energy, and then this card becomes a 20k dual attack double strike. So this is one of your game enders. I definitely think I'm going to run this as 4 and probably take out Meta Cooler for now. Even though you cycle a lot of cards with it, I think in the upcoming format with the new Mecha Frieza cards, I think this will be better in that. But still a good card. You should still own it. You should, if you're going to play Mecha Frieza, you should still buy this card just to have it. Because eventually this will be probably better than this. Once Dark Broly gets out of the format, this will be not as important, but currently it is. 2 prideful transformations, you don't need any more. 2 is enough. Once you see 2, it's plenty. You don't really need to do any more with it. It taps the card coming into play is putting in rest mode, so it doesn't trigger your Bergamo, it doesn't trigger your Poutine, doesn't trigger anything else like that, because it's already coming in rest mode. Same thing as Crusher Ball. So, but it's good. It is a blocker. It can help you save your Vegeta from dying. For Bergamo, this is your main playmaker of the deck. You tap something down with Chapel or your leader, or just something. Any card that taps something down, you can play this card for 2 energy and tap 2 cards, either 2 energy or battle cards ignoring barrier. So this can stop an entire turn. It's really good turn 2 if you can, or turn 3 if you can. Actually, anytime. Once you have a Chapel on the board and you have one of these in your hand, you have 2 energy up, just pass. Your opponent has to attack first if they don't have a board, and then this will tap down something. You can use this to tap down 2 more energy, and then their opponent loses their entire turn. So pretty nasty. 2 Poutine. 2 is fine. When something is tapped, comes in. It sits there with barrier, and when they play a card using a skill or they activate a counter skill, you get to tap down one of their cards. The nice thing is you need to remember is that you get to choose the card. Your opponent does not get to choose. So your opponent will play something and they'll go, oh, I'll just tap this down then because it comes in. It's like, no, I get to choose. So as long as that card doesn't have barrier, you get to choose a card and put it in rest mode. So just keep that in mind. 3 Final Flash. If you have 4, run 4. It's like a $40 card now for some reason. I think it's 30. I don't know why people are buying this card out. I know it's really good, but there's no reason for this card to be $30. You can play it for free off your leader. It's a plus 15k. You also can blank a card ignoring barriers, so you can remove skills. So if you're playing in the mirror match and someone's playing the slug package, you can negate the slug, and then you can start drawing cards off your super combos, off your Universe 9 assembles, that kind of stuff. It's also just a really good card just to go for game with, because you can play it out for no energy. So you can, basically just take a life, which is drawing a card, and then basically plussing something by 15. 1 Cold Bloodlust. This is your SER extra card. You can only run 1. Blanks any card coming into play. Very, very good. 1 Final Spirit Cannon. To all the people who sent me comments about this card being really, really good, and I kept saying it was really bad, I take it back. I think it is really good. wins me games, especially in this type of deck. This is a really, really good card. I may end up running 2 of. The second ability where you can KO something for less in rest mode is okay, but the tapping in energy for free is just way too good. One cooler, another card that may get bumped up, and another variation of the deck, a counter. Since we play a lot of stuff for free or very cheap, when we swing at something and they decide to floodgate us, we can counter, stop it, draw a card, and then we can keep swinging. Another one of that will probably end up going in the side deck is going to be the Absolute Annihilation Sengoku. It's a 3-drop 20k barrier blocker, unique, and when your opponent activates an extra card skill, they have to exhaust an energy. So basically, every extra card that they play costs 2, or cost an extra 1. So this is really good this is really good against Dark Broly. This is really good against the mirror matchup. This is really good against any green deck. Because it makes their dormants 1 energy, so they have to cast it for 1 energy if they have a unison on board, or they have to play it for 2 if they don't have a unison on board. Dark Broly, all of their Dragon Balls cost 1. Their Power Burst cost 2. Their Protect the People cost 2. Their Petrifications cost 2. Just makes it really difficult for them to deal with. If you can get this on board against Invoker before they get things established, makes all their extra cards cost 1 extra. So even if they have Invoker on the board, the card still costs 2. So, very good card to run. Currently I only would fit 1 in the deck. Side decking, depending on actually what you're playing against, you may want to main deck it, but I think it's going to go in the side deck. Slug package, 3 little slug, 4 big slug. We don't run in Gile. I don't think there's really a reason to. Draw cards off of this. You play this guy off of it. This guy's in rest mode. You have Bond 2. Opponent can't draw when this card's in rest mode. And a lot of times you can actually just use your Vegeta. If you don't want to attack, you can just, as long as you have Bond 2 on board, you can use the Vegeta to tap this. And now they can't draw, and then you can just swing with your Vegeta. It ends up becoming better, I feel, in that sense. Super combo is going to be Krillin. This is the area of the deck where I feel a little uncomfortable because I like to try to stay at 5 life as long as possible. But there's been games where I have 2 of these in my hand, and I'm at 6 life, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm going down to 4 because I can't combo with my super combos because they're dead until I hit 4. Once you hit 4, you're golden. It's really difficult to whittle down Frieza. You don't want to take any more damage once you hit 4. You want to be taking your own life to use extra cards. But I'm not a big fan of this yet. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I may end up going back to the Masus. I may do a 2-2 split. Honestly, I may go down to running one of these just for the tech of being able to play it out, tap something, and then awaken, and then restand, and I can use it to combo. I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent so far, so we'll kind of see. 2 Champa for just going for game. You use this. Your 2 game enders, the big game enders, are going to be your Vegeta and the Frieza. So you swing at leader, combo everything, use your final flashes, use your super combos, and then you tack a double strike on top of it. Same thing with the units. With this here, you don't need to add Champa to it because it's going to have a Champa built in. These don't work on unisons though, so people have to remember that. These do not work on unisons. So you cannot go for game and combo Vegeta's final flash. You have to use it on your leader or a battle card. Overwhelms are going to be 1 Secret ID and then SS4 Goku. This is your board clear. Run another one of these in the side deck. If you don't have this card here, just run 2 of the Secret ID. This card is extremely overpriced right now. It's like $160. There's a YouTuber, I won't mention his name, but he kept talking about this in videos, and then it went up in price. Don't buy the hype. If you're gonna buy one, buy it from me, because I'll sell mine for $160, but it's probably not gonna sell for that. So it's an Overwhelm, 25k. Both these are Overwhelm 6. This is a 25k dual attack. This is a 25k that warps energy cost of 6 or less. So if you want to buy for $160, go right ahead. No one's gonna stop you. But I would recommend not buying it. If you don't already have it, just use the Secret Identity. It's still a really, really good card. So the game enders in the deck, obviously we're going to run Supreme Kai. That is our secret rare of choice. It actually feels better in most decks because you're really able to punish your opponent for 1 energy on your turn. You can play this out for 1 energy. and then you get a 40k body swing, which is really, really terrifying in a lot of matchups. And then we run 2 Bergamo Lupin Predator. So this card here, no one plays in any build. I've never seen anybody play this card. I don't think I'm the first person who's played it in Mecha Frieza, but I'm definitely the only person I think who's made a video with it. So this card here is a 7-drop 25k barrier triple attack. This card becomes a 4 energy cost. Its cost is reduced by 3 whenever your opponent's energy is all tapped out, which is very easy to do in this type of deck. So this card here, it's a 25k barrier deflect. 25k barrier triple attack. This card comes on board. Choose all your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier. Switch from the rest mode, and they cannot restand until the start of my next main phase. So even if you're playing against something like Shinron, if you're playing against any deck that has blockers, any deck that has a ton of combo power on the board, just play this. And it stops your opponent from being able to do anything. You tap their entire board, and then you can either swing things down, or you can swing at their leader for 3 times. And then next turn, they don't get to restand their board, so they have all these battle cards on board that they can't do anything with. So they have to waste resources to play out more stuff, which then puts you in a good position to Chapel, Bergamo, Vegeta, Cold Bloodlust. You can do other things then. So forces your opponent to waste more resources, and then next turn, then their stuff's still going to be tapped. You can just swing 3 times. There was a game I played online where I played one of these, tapped everything on their board, swung down their unison, then swung at their leader a little bit. Next turn, I ended up Bergamoing them. They passed. I played another one of these, tapped the rest of their board, and everything stayed tapped again. So this can be pretty deadly. You also can use this with something like Champa. A good turn is if you already have like a Basil, some of these stuff on board. You swing with everything. You swing with your Vegeta twice. You play one of these. Well, you play this first, obviously, to tap everything. So you play this first. You swing with everything. You swing with this 3 times. Play one of these. Then you swing with this twice. You have your Vegeta, which you can swing twice with. You have your leader swing. You have this you can swing twice with. You have a lot of different options here. The deck doesn't have a lot of really big, double strikers and triple strikers. The deck is more so just being able to tap everything, just to remove resources, and then we just overwhelm you. Once you get down to about 3 life, this deck becomes pretty deadly, because you're having so many swings that you have to fight through, and also being able to just remove resources or stop them from gaining other resources with the slug makes it very, very difficult. So that's what I got for you guys today. No side deck for this. Just kind of a main board idea. Hopefully you guys like the idea. Thank you guys for watching the series as well. I'll be posting more Mecha Frieza videos, because that's probably what I'm going to end up playing in the regional. I just need to figure out what archetype of Mecha Frieza I want to play, because I've played like 4 different ones now, so we'll see. Thank you guys for watching, though. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.